In this video, we are going to see how we can find minimum in a rotated sorted array. We will be given an array and we need to find out the minimum element in this array. So here in the question, they have also specified that uh, the algorithmic time complexity should be O of log n. So in this array, this is not perfectly sorted. It is a sorted array, but it is rotated sometimes. So consider this example where the given array is 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2. So here the minimum element is 1. And similarly, if you consider this array, so our minimum element will be 0. So we need to find and return the minimum element of the array. So when the array is given 0 rotations, that is no rotations, that time array will be in increasing order. So we need to find some value which is the minimum in this time complexity. So one simple approach without using binary search will be we can easily do it in O of n time where we will go through the array and we will return the minimum. But using binary search we can optimize this time complexity. So I will explain the approach to this problem. So consider this example here. So 3, 4, 5 and 1 and then 2. So here we cannot directly search for the minimum element using binary search because whole array is not sorted. So if you consider here, this is sorted, but this is also sorted. So we need to find out this element. So we can, one way to do it is we need to, whenever a binary search is given, we need to convert this array into a list of Boolean values, continuous true and false values. Then we can try to find whether first or last true or false. The way we do it is we can ask a very simple question. If this element is greater than or equal to element, let us call that array 0, first element. So we will ask this question at every position and we will answer the answer. We will create this Boolean array. So first element is always greater than or equal to. So first element will become true. First will become true. So and then the second element is also greater than or equal to first element. So this will also become true. And the third element, which is 5, this is also greater than or equal to 3. This is also become true. But when it comes to 1, 1 is not greater than or equal to 3. So this becomes false. And for the 2 also it becomes false. So recognize this pattern where we have converted this array given input into a series of true and false. Once we obtain this pattern, then it is very easy to find what is the minimum element because wherever this first false present, if the first false is present here, that from that element array starts in the if array is given no rotation. So if array rotates one more time, let us consider one more example where we will give one more rotation to the array. So 2 will come here, 3, 4, 5 and 1. So this is another example. You can consider it as example 2. So we will, okay. Now here, if you consider this 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, we will ask the same question. At each position, we will ask this question whether this element is greater than or equal to nums of 0, that is first element. So for the first element, this is true. And for the second element, which is 3, This is also true. And for the third element, which is 4, 4 is greater than or equal to 2. For this also it is true. For 5 is also true. But for 1 it is false. So for our first false is this one only, and this is the minimum element. So we need to find that index. So if we don't find anything, let us say we got this array where 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here the minimum element is 1. So here at every position this becomes true. So if we are not able to find anything, find the first false or no false is there in this boolean, then we will return -1. Instead of returning -1 at this time, we know that if you are not able to find the first false, then the 0. So this will be our answer. We at this point, if no false is present, then we will return -1. So this means first element itself is the minimum. So this is the approach that we are going to follow, and we are going to write code for the same thing. So let us create one more function where find minimum. So it will take an array. So initial left will be 0 and the right index will be len of nums -1. So once we are here, as long as our left is less than or equals right, as long as we have a valid range, we will compute the mid, that is left plus right divided by 2. And once we compute the mid, we will ask this question whether our element is greater than or equal to nums of 0. So if nums of mid is greater than or equal to nums of 0, at this point we know that, so if this is the case, we know that we got a true, and we don't have to search in this side. If we get anywhere, if we get true, then we are sure that our false will lie next to the mid. So we will update the left. We'll update the left as mid plus 1. Otherwise, if this is not the case, if we get any false, so we will store it in the answer. So our answer will be made, and we will search for the better answer in the to the left of the mid, because we want the first false. So here we will initialize one more variable to answer to -1. This is needed because if we don't find any such false, it will return -1. So finally we will return the answer. So here we will call that function, so we can minimum index will be, we will find minimum of nums. So we will check whether this minimum index is -1. If it is -1, then we will return 0. Otherwise we will return minimum index. we will return 0. So we can write it as a simple if case. If main index. So what we can do here is, instead of returning -1 in case it does not find, we can return as 0 only. So we can, instead of checking here, we can directly return this answer. So let us see if it works. So here we are not getting that value. What are we missing here? So the output we are getting, okay, we don't have to return the index. Here we are returning just the index, right? So this find minimum is not returning the find minimum. Instead of, we are returning the index. So if we return answer itself, so it will fix the issue. Okay, now first three cases are passing. We will submit the solution and see. Okay, all the test cases are passing. This is the recent solution that I have submitted. I hope you like this video, and please like, share and subscribe if you want to see more content related to data structure and algorithms.